Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's TheoTRADE Chat. It's Don Kaufman here. It's February 16th, 2024. 4 minutes to go to the cash open. Spoos. It's red. They're down some four handles right now with fairly sketchy trade after what was an extraordinarily hot PPI number that came out. By the way, there's also a consumer confidence coming out. Normally I wouldn't even care about that, but it's going to matter now because PPI definitely mattered. Anyway, with that, so SPOOs maybe sinking a little bit over here. Off some of the lows, which were just a few minutes ago. We were about 10 handles lower than this. Bounced up a little bit. Volume starting to surge out there, doing some 250,000 contracts. Hey, just so we're clear, there was no volume whatsoever before that PPI number came out. And again, the PPI, it came out hot, which is, I guess, good if you believe in a good economy, bad if you believe that you need interest rates lower. I mean, you seriously, after CPI and PPI, inflation is, they're going to start talking about raising rates again. That's how crazy it's going to get. They'll be like, well, maybe we have to put another rate hike in here. Anyway, look at the US dollar on this. So things getting a little bit wild right now. All right, just clear the deck for just a second. Clear everything. By the way, bonds also big sell-off inside of the bond market, huge volume in there. One of the most important aspects of this morning, okay, it all relates to SPX. There's two aspects in the SPX that are critical. Number one aspect that's very, very important this morning. We are opening this morning effectively where we finished last week, which implies a fairly significant amount of gamma risk. I'll talk about that more after the cash open. Basically, what does it imply? There is a crap load of risk that we're sitting on, and this ball gets rolling higher or lower, and this trading session can get out of control quickly. The next thing to be concerned about, okay, in the next 2 minutes, there's over $1 trillion of options expiring in the SPX. So there is an AM settlement this morning. Again, this is a think back, but there's an AM settlement this morning. The AM settlement has incredibly high open interest. As soon as the AM settlement, meaning the bell goes off and trading firms have to start to blow out of some of their hedges, we're going to get a little crazy this morning, right? And I am stressing to you on that front. You might want to sit on your hands for the first, few moments here, because again, there could be some pretty serious fireworks inside of the S&Ps. It doesn't have to be, but things calm down a little bit. Some of this price action, though, was quite the cause for concern for an AM settlement in the SPX. Again, well over $1 trillion. That's right, trillion with a T, well over $1 trillion of notional coming off this morning. It's one of the bigger OpExes that we've seen in recent history. Nevertheless, we'll move past it. Chip stocks, NVIDIA and so forth, still making a huge bid. We'll look at this again after the cash open, but on fire this morning, and somebody even like upgraded it. Probably the most interesting player in the room, though, is going to be Apple. Apple mentioned AI last night. The stock spiked, faded all the way back. We're opening relatively unchanged. Pay attention to it, because if you're looking for the idea of AI not selling anymore, that's it. Financials are down mildly. Energy up mildly. Advanced decline line going to be swapped past. Let's come over here to the advanced decline line, get a quick glance at it. So AD line, ever so mildly negative. Now, what you should anticipate in this cash open here, S&P futures jumping around a little bit, okay? And it's likely what we're going to see for the first 4 or 5 minutes trade here. Big volume jumping around, like real broken, disconnected trade, because again, there's a lot of trading firms that have to offload different types of hedges and so forth. But it really, if anything, that huge option expiration this morning just frees up the S&Ps to actually make, more substantiated moves, which we very well may see today. So S&P is right out of the gate. Again, you're seeing a fairly significant size candle here. It's exactly what I'm talking about, like a 3-4 handle candle in the first minute. Volume's always been in the first minute, but yeah, things are going to get interesting here in a hurry. With that, ticks are actually minus 1100. Now that's going to catch a lot of people off guard, including myself. I don't necessarily see where it's coming from. Obviously the advanced decline line's picking up to the downside, but look, no one cares about an AD line as long as NVIDIA is actually bid. Speaking of NVIDIA, okay, I mean, there is some crazy stuff. Like if you didn't see some of the statistics yesterday about NVIDIA, super microcomputer, okay, here's one where, I mean, it's kind of the talk of the trading community right now. For those of you that speak geek, Supermicro had the second highest closing RSI in history. We'll look at it maybe a little bit later, but because this is not, to me, it's not pivotal. It's just, I mean, look, you have a $58 billion market cap, which could be a $30 billion market cap by later today. Give it time, people. All right, here's some more of that kind of chaotic trade that I was referencing a moment ago. You know what? I'm going to take ticks off the screen. I just don't think I need them. The trade this morning, again, expect it to be chaotic. Expect it to be very, very fast. We'll see if it subsides to some degree. Nevertheless, again, a huge option expiration is, it's more important than anything in any individual stock that you see on the screen. The option expirations, especially in the SPX, those AM settlements where they pack open interest, sometimes for months, even for years, okay? It means everything. I don't give a damn about, NVIDIA at this point. NVIDIA wouldn't be able to contradict, a massive expiration coming off. And you're talking about $1 trillion of notional. It's well over $1 trillion of notional that are coming off the OPEX, and they have to relinquish hedges thereafter. And you don't know what somebody, says dealer gamma happens to be. And if I'm speaking a foreign language, basically, okay, what I'm saying is this. You're a dealer, you're a market maker. Dealer, market maker means the same damn thing. You're a dealer, okay? Your inventory is massive at all times, but all of a sudden, okay, at the bell, let's talk about like dealer inventory for a second, give you guys a quick feel for it and why it's so imperative to understand. Okay, at this bell, there's an AM, okay, settlement. AM settlement does not go off the open. Okay, it's actually an equation that basically says, all right, if the S&P 500, every stock opened at the exact same second, which they actually don't, okay, here's the settlement. So the AM settlement can sometimes differ from the opening price. Nevertheless, right here at the AM settlement, okay, those options cease to exist. So all of the deltas of the AM settlement either go to 0, okay, or they go to 1, right? Because options at expiration become completely binary. Everything that goes to 0, all right, hedges come off. Everything that goes to 1, there's cash settlement. So none of it matters. None of it matters. You have to get rid of every hedge associated, okay, if you're in those, all right, if you're in those options. And there's just a lot of them. Now, it's not so much, okay, like what really matters in the SPX. I'm going to tell you exactly what really matters, and then we'll talk about the next most important thing. Okay, all that really matters around the expiration, a lot of this stuff here that's very close to the money, and it's not that huge, but as the market starts to move, I'll just give you an example. Look here, okay, at that 5,000 strike. All of those have now expired. They're gone. Okay, they're off the board. So this could have actually, stabilized the market at the 5,000 marker. Obviously, we're trading 5,021, but that can actually, stabilize the market, but it's gone. Okay, so it's going to get, a little crazy in markets. And again, I'm not saying we're necessarily going to sell off sell off 20 in here, which is 2 in the spiders, but it's worth noting. Again, you get this big OPEX, and it changes the nature of the beast completely. Some of the trade that people are used to. Don't worry, man, they'll bid it up. Yeah, well, those options are off the board right now. We'll see how this plays out. NVIDIA, Okay. NVIDIA this morning, it's already got a bid back under it. Is it enough to sustain the market? Well, right now it is. It's sustaining, okay, the Nasdaq. It's actually holding the Nasdaq, okay, where it presently is. So what's actually causing a little bit of a drag to the market? Maybe a little bit of the financials in here this morning. Okay. There's not huge sell side anywhere. I mean, look, I see just as well as you do, the S&P's down 10. I definitely see Meta, okay, maybe slipping a little bit, percent and a half over here. There's nothing huge on the board yet, except maybe the Russell. The Russell really got rocked again this morning. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. This is it, man. This is right now, okay, some mild sell side. Now, here's also a very, very critical aspect, okay? In the SPX, and I was talking about this in the pre-market, but now we're 6-7 minutes into the day. Let's really discuss it, okay? It's a very dangerous area for the SPX right now. And that comes by way of, all right, on a given week, forget about the AM settlement. AM settlement's done, okay? This is the Friday expiration. In any given week, what happens is risk, especially in what we call zero, okay, DTE, 0 days to expiration, the risk continues to kind of roll forward. And Friday is always, always by far and away the most significant round of what we term, okay, gamma risk. There's huge gamma risk here on Friday. So you're like, oh, who cares? Well, you should care because the core of the gamma risk, you're sitting on it. You're sitting on it. And what can happen very quickly in a market like this, and again, I'm not going to tell you whether going higher or lower because yeah, screw that. It's crazy in here right now. You can't get a feel. This is a gigantic ball of risk today, right? And you're sitting basically where really close to where delta is equivalent to 0, right? But their gamma is going to be massive. And by the way, I don't give a crap what people say. Every single dealer, which is market maker, is negative, okay, gamma. You don't think they're negative gamma? Look, most accounts can't even sell options; they have to buy them. So the dealers are negative gamma. If we start to roll down the hill, they have to sell into it. If we start to come up the hill, they have to buy into it. Either way, anticipate some bigger moves today. Okay, what's a bigger move? Well, today's expected move today, just today. So this is okay, today, SPX expected move. I know I'm writing it up here a lot, but look, this grap's important. It's 32.65. That is the definitive expected move for today. I am just going to throw this out here. You're damn right. You better see that and every ounce of it. You could easily have double this today. All right. There's a huge amount of risk, and I can't overstate how much risk is on there for today, just to give you a feel. Okay. So we're just going to go in here. Remember, AM settlement already happened. You've already done 130,000 contracts this morning. This is not updating yet, but you've already done 130,000 contracts this morning. Okay. The spiders, okay, have already done 400,000 contracts. You're 9 minutes into a trading session. Okay. That's when you have to go, holy beep. And another thing, this thing is beep, beep, beep. Look, okay, at the volume in here. It's craziness. Huge, huge volume trading. It's actually huge open interest. That 5,000 strike. That's good stuff. Okay. There's huge size trading today. So look, we're starting to roll down the hill just a little bit. So strap in because it could be a little bit of a rough ride. Okay. Now, early on in the trading session, you're going to see some attempts maybe to bid this market back. We'll see. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to assign a tremendous amount of direction over here. I know better than that. Okay. I've been, on the other side of this gamma. Okay. And it's ridiculous. Like you look at the gamma, no one cares on the market making side whether we're going higher or lower. No one cares. All they know on the market making side is their servers are going to start to sell if we go down, and their servers are going to start to buy if we go up. And that is it. Okay. There's no if, and, or but about it. Now, big tech. Let's talk a little bit about big tech. First and foremost, bring up Microsoft having a rough week. in Microsoft. The reason I'm bringing that up is there's a lot of crap, okay, in tech right now. It is getting, okay, deeply cut. I mean, this is on the week. Forget about like, weekly or day. Look, on the week, Microsoft's outside its expected move. You should pay attention to that. On the week, Apple is well outside its expected move. So the two biggest components, maybe not the most important components, but the two biggest components, okay, are to the downside. So that's actually just going to lean, okay, on that tent a little bit. Now, Apple, I'm going to spend a minute on this as well. Apple is kind of shocking. If you, well, ask me, this is an opinion. This is, not expected move. Okay. Apple last night announced, okay, that they're getting involved, obviously, in AI. Stock loves it. The whole freaking market shot through the roof last night on the Apple news. You need only look at the Nasdaq futures. Just bear with me for a second. Look at Nasdaq futures last night. They shot through the roof on the Apple news. Okay. The interesting thing is the market's selling it right now. They're not buying the Apple news. Okay. It is one of the first signs, if you will. Okay. Yay, AI. And then it was like, yay, AI. Now it's like, AI. It fell flat. Interesting. We've also heard throughout the course of the week about Google. Google is going to get some stiff competition. Look how far outside the expected move it is. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon, look how far outside the expected move it is. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major components, okay, that are outside the expected move. Now you come to Meta. Meta today is actually getting beaten up a little bit. It's almost to the tune of 2%, but it's back inside its expected move. Okay, Tesla came out of nowhere, supporting the market a little bit, and of course, Nvidia. There is an incredible battle going on, but you have to be very aware that, people are talking about a bubble this, bubble that, okay? You already have 4 of the biggest products down, okay? Just stop talking after that, all right? These products, they don't start coming raging back. You're gonna have some serious issues inside of NASDAQ in a hurry. Speaking of NASDAQ, let's actually go to the QQQs, okay? In the NASDAQ, it's down on the week, but it's about halfway home to the lower edge of the expected move. Okay. So for what it's worth, right now, if the market closed, you had a NASDAQ down on the week. So again, there's talk of the bubble, there's this, okay. Well, there's already some deflation in it. It's the first time we've actually seen the NASDAQ down in, well, a really long freaking time. I'm just going back week after week. You have to go back to the first week of the year, okay, to see a definitively down week in NASDAQ. There is no other down week in NASDAQ, okay? There just isn't. But if it closed right here, it's a mild down week. But again, I'd be more concerned that 4 of the biggest of the tech stocks, okay, are not just through the lower edge of the expected move, they're dramatically through it. And you're missing it because NVIDIA is like, if you will, covering up the tracks, okay? Speaking of NVIDIA, how is it doing this week? Not that great. I mean, and again, there's like, NVIDIA fever right now, okay? It's not that great. It's only halfway home to the upper edge of the expected move. It's a crap load of risk, specifically on today, okay? Is this going to be the day NVIDIA actually caves? Look, it's not, we're on NVIDIA watch. We realize, Tesla's got a bid under it, okay? And by the way, Tesla being bid up, to me, is not a good thing. They're buying crap because there's nothing else to buy in here. By the way, the tape's really getting hit a little bit more now. So it's not a, an if, we're just waiting right now for that fateful day where NVIDIA is down 70, 80, $100 in a day. We'll see. We'll see how this one's actually going to play out. Speaking of how it's going to play out, that AD line is ugly. I mean, I could tell because the energy sector is coming back off. Meanwhile, if you look at the financials, okay, there's almost like a rotation. One thing you got to realize, there's really not anywhere to go right now. You can buy some dollar. Yay. Can't really buy bonds. Those are getting killed. I mean, the bonds are getting killed right now. Where are you going to go? Let's go into NVIDIA. Okay. Nobody asked you. There's a little bit maybe of some consumer staples. Okay. Walmart's kind of flattened out. Just not a lot of bright spots on the screen. Speaking of bright spots on the screen, the movement and volatility is nominal right now. So just looking at the tape, I'm not expecting anything right now to the downside that's big. Okay. We're just drifting a little bit. And quite frankly, okay, let's just zoom in on this for just a second. We're actually doing decent volume. Okay. Nothing crazy though by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. But again, things maybe mellowing out a little bit. I am a bit concerned, okay, about right here, the consumer sentiment. So we'll put an alarm up for that one. I'm only concerned because we're paying attention right now to next to nothing. So we created a little alarm over there. That alarm will go off. Okay. What the hell, man? I changed that time. I put a 9 in there. I did create. Okay. Oh, you little. Look at that. I know what I'm doing here. You see the 9. I see the 9. We all see the 9. Create. Hey, there you go. Piece of crap. Anyway, um, sorry, over here. Awkward silence for coffee. Yes, I have to announce my awkward silence for coffee. Okay. Let's see if the volume actually picks up here. Something tells me we actually crest, yes, a little lower, like 2 points lower. That 50.31 actually held a little bit of weight. We crossed through 50.31. I think we'll actually see some size trade and push a little bit lower from here. So let's cruise over to NVIDIA for a second. The only stock that anybody ever wants to talk about, okay, is NVIDIA, okay, or super micro, okay. Looking at NVIDIA, well, the call buyers are not necessarily out. So careful in here. Like there's some call buying going on, no question about it. Like there's some, pretty significant size, 250,000 contracts can't be wrong, but it's not extreme in here. So NVIDIA, to me, more or less just feels like it's kind of coasting a little bit higher. Okay. I don't read into this too deeply, but 12 move is pretty nominal. Speaking of a $12 move, it still has a $13 move for the remainder of the day. So again, the implied volatility really picking up in NVIDIA. And of course, it does have earnings coming next week, which is now a $90 expected move. It's getting a little crazy out there, people. Little bit crazy. I mean, you realize that a month from now, okay, it has $100 expected move, $110 expected move. But 7 days from now, okay, has almost a $90 expected move. You're like, that doesn't even make sense. That's exactly right. There's so much packed into this earnings announcement next week. Okay. Boy, they fall flat on their face and this market is screwed. And vice versa though. So super micro. Okay. It's the talk of the trading community right now. And the reason it's the talk of the trading community, okay, it has effectively, I'm just gonna tell you exactly the numbers in here. It's what we call RSI, which I mean, it's relative strength. Okay. The RSI was like 97. There was only one product ever that had a higher closing RSI, and that was actually a stock called GameStop. Can't make that crap up. So let's go look at it right now because this might have the highest RSI ever recorded. So when I mean ever recorded, I mean like ever. Here, let's get rid of the we'll get rid of this. Show volume, subgraph, apply, hit OK. No, I said to get rid of it. I'm having problems today, people. Show volume, subgraph, apply, OK. There we go. Everything takes like 2-3 times in here. There it is, the 97. Okay, you're seeing it, the 97 RSI. Now you can go back and you can look at every product you want to. You're not going to find that. Okay, we could actually even scan the entire market for it. You're not going to see that. You can go back for years in any given stock. Like even if you look at NVIDIA got up there, mid 80s, pretty freaking extreme. But interestingly enough, NVIDIA is even coming off a little bit this week. So it's a sign of weakness, man. But you are actually seeing the highest RSI ever recorded. Well, right there with GameStop. Let's go look at GME. Okay, because I'm curious Was that it right there? No, I gotta go all the way back. I gotta go back in time. I remember one time when this stock was a worthless piece of crap. Here you go. And that is it. That was a 98. So there was a 98 in here. By the way, here we are at 31. Volume should surge here. Volume should surge right here at 31. I've actually been watching this level a lot lately. Okay, and there it is. Check it out. See the volume surging right at the 31. So this kind of volatility, I have a pretty good feel for right now. We're going to continue to we're going to push right now much lower. The next major spot that I have on anything, we revert all the way back to some of the lows from yesterday, which is 50.11. That's all I have though. There's I don't really have anything between. In fact, if you look at some of the trade 30-day 1 hour, you'll see exactly what I'm referencing in here. Okay, right in the neighborhood. It's all the way back down. Okay, into this neighborhood here of like 50.11 is the next major level that I have in the S&Ps. And again, there was a whole lot of 50.11 back here, here. Okay, that's again, as I said, the next major level. The consumer confidence number in 8 minutes is really going to rock this marketplace. Okay, it has nothing to do with consumer confidence. I don't give a damn what the number is, but I'm telling you, it's going to move the market. There's a lot playing out right now in here, and we are seeing some fairly significant now sell side activity. If you look at stuff like Microsoft, and you talk about overbought, oversold on a weekly basis, just literally from Monday to right now, you're actually facing a full-blown 2 standard deviation move. So it is one of the more substantiated moves that we've seen lately in tech. The most surprising though on the screen to me is Apple. If you're into what I would term the AI trade, that people shouldn't just be concerning. It should be run for the hills time. When Apple finally made the announcement, the whole market ran up and then sold it. Okay, realize they are selling Apple in that case. The Nasdaq, which was holding up extraordinarily well, just lost its Nvidia in the last 4 to 5 minutes. It lost Nvidia, and take a look at the Nasdaq. The last 4 to 5 minutes, the fall in the Nasdaq. We are riding, okay, exclusively right now in Nvidia. As I said, that call buy side is not there today. Again, the buy side and the calls is just simply not there. In fact, here we go. Now they're selling calls. So there's a little bit of getting out of positions. There's nobody buying puts yet. Let's not get crazy. There's nobody buying puts, but there's definitely some call selling going on. So this trade looks to be coming off just a bit. Granted, the stock is still up. Nvidia is still up on the day. But as I said to you, here comes the big push with that surge of volume, right? So we're able to handicap it to some degrees, some levels in here, okay? And again, don't worry about, SMCI is not going to drive order flow, okay? The only thing SMCI is, it's like a demarcation. It's a line in the sand. That's it. And if they see if they see Supermicro come off, the entire AI trade can start to really unwind. Okay, but that to me is going to be led by NVIDIA. I mean, the AI trade, I call it the AI trade, but this is much more, okay, about the chip AI trade. It's much more about chips. And, I guess kind of an ironic twist in that Intel. Take a look at Intel, okay? It had a nice bid up, but it hasn't played a role in this, okay? I mean, they actually make chips. Here we are. All right, so as I said, the next major level I have on my screen, okay, we're a hell of a lot closer to it than you thought, right? We're just talking about 50.11, 3 minutes ago, and here we go. Okay, as the volume starts to pick up, that 31 handle in here definitely holds weight. So 50.31 inside of the S&Ps, we were watching it earlier this week, obviously held tremendous weight, and away we go. So this could turn into a onslaught in Nasdaq here in just a couple of seconds. I know that looks like big selling, okay? And I know that the Nasdaq is now down 150 handles, but this is again, that OpEx made a big difference too. As I said to you, if they start rolling the ball down the hill, okay, the ball starts to really roll down the hill. Okay, I also said to you guys less than 15 minutes ago, the expected move in the SPX It's $32. You're going to hit every single ounce of that $32 and then some. I wouldn't be surprised to see a $60 move out of today. Okay. There's just too much gamma sitting on here. Okay. The one thing you need to see right now, we need to bounce back up a little bit to actually continue down. So we should kind of mellow out right in this neighborhood here, because people, that is some huge volume, should mellow out, maybe bounce a little bit and try to maybe come off from there. Nevertheless, though, I would also assume based on the time, things are going to mellow out for just a couple of moments, okay, because we have that consumer confidence number coming. So it's, again, it's going to be kind of an interesting trading session here. This is the first time that we're seeing a much heavier correlation hit markets. Take a look at the advanced decline line here. Okay, the big tech stocks are taking hits, and we're trying to rotate a little bit, but I caution you, this could start to fail. And again, when I say look at the advanced decline line, what I'm trying to show you, okay, is simply this. The AD line, there's still 30 products to sell, in my opinion, okay, with the S&Ps off. Really dangerous trade right now, because what's going on is you're seeing rotations, and they're literally trying to rotate back towards some of the financials. They're rotating out of tech, back towards, for instance, energy. You can see rotations into some of the consumer staples. I mean, it's little pockets of strength like that. The reason I say is watch out. On a Friday, you're coming into a holiday weekend. This is where we can just cave everything. Okay, watch for correlations as we really start to pick up, because I can see it to some degree right now. I mean, I can see that whole bout of sell side activity. Okay, that really fast down move in the S&Ps saw a bid up in the energy sector. That fast move down in the S&Ps, okay, saw a bid up here in the financials. You just look. Don't take my word for it. Look at it, right? And the reason I say that could actually be, look at that. That's the fast move in the S&Ps. Okay. We moderated only for 1 minute, and we look like we're going to go back down right now. So vol is actually really picking up. In any regard, we look like we're trying to rotate right now. And I suggest to you that rotation is probably going to fail a little bit here. So if you start to see stuff like the financials, okay, even if the financials pull back a little bit, that's basically all hands on deck in the S&Ps. So again, my assumption is right now, that's the way we're actually going to head. Okay, we're going to wait a minute here. We're going to look at the S&Ps. We have, and again, see the advanced decline line coming back off. We have the consumer sentiment. Okay, I can't stress to you guys enough. Okay, I don't give a crap about the University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, it's nothing to do with the University of Michigan. I don't want to offend anybody. My wife actually went there. She went to U of M. There's the alarm. You have 1 minute. Okay, if you're not happy with your positions, you might want to get the hell out. Just always remember something about the announcements. The first move might not be its last. So we spike up and we could come back off there. To me, there's been a lot of selling. Like, you need a little bit of a bounce in here, and they just didn't get it. So don't be surprised to see some bouncing going around. And speaking of a bounce, the Nasdaq is all kinds of ugly though right now. We just fell out of bed since the cash open a lot. You were trading at 920, and now you're trading at 760. So what a difference a whole 20 minutes is made on there. Again, just waiting for this number to come out, and it is going to move markets. Doesn't matter what you think of the survey. It's a market moving event over here, and we're starting to see a little bit more movement on the front of volatility, but nothing too big. So the makings of an actual trading session in here. Here we go. Consumer sentiment is out. S&Ps. Here we go. We're going right to 5011. All right. What's the consumer sentiment? Oh, it was strong, really strong. Nobody likes a strong number these days. I had to post that one in chat because it's like the last thing you'd expect, right? Consumer sentiment, very strong. The bonds, they'll probably revert back down. Everything kind of freaked out on that number. Look at the movement in the Nasdaq off of that. So not only did you get PPI strong, by the way, I really am so bothered by this. You know, you want to know when the market's done doing whatever it's going to do is when good news is good news. Consumer sentiment being good, you would think was good, but it can't be good because it's very bad. All right. What I mean by that is consumer sentiment being good. We've gone from we're definitely getting a rate cut in March. Okay. Mark my words, you will hear from the Fed if data, just another data point or two comes out, they could actually consider another rate hike. And you go, that's absolutely ridiculous. I would agree. Believe me, they'll talk about it. They'll talk about it. Okay. I'm actually kind of curious on here. There is no chance, okay, whatsoever anymore of a rate cut in March. None. Okay. Come out to May. What do we got in May? Nasdaq continues to fall. There's almost no chance even in May for a rate cut. This probability changed. June is the first time that they're looking, okay, at the possibility of a rate cut. So it's just the fact of the matter is the market's not going to get a rate cut. It wanted a rate cut. How come it's not reacting more violently? My opinion, it should. Okay. I assumed that if you're not going to cut rates, that could actually threaten the idea of a hard landing substantially more. They're not cutting rates, period. Right. By the way, we're still rotating. We're still rotating into financials. We're still rotating heavily, okay, into energy. But at the exact same time, the S&P is going to continue to slip. So I want to see if these rotations stop. Okay. The most critical thing from here, okay, is they're going to stop and possibly roll these rotations over. If that is happening, the S&P is going to be down. That'll really open up the downside to the marketplace. Okay, NVIDIA, it's amazing, people. Okay, believe in miracles. It's actually having a down day. And yeah, I do want to look at super micro only because I like to see a good train wreck as much as the next trader. That's it. There it goes. So we have broken. I'm surprised. Are they halting this for volatility? I don't see any, no, they haven't halted it for volatility. I'm actually surprised, okay, that it has not been halted more for volatility. It's down some 10%. By the way, that's 10% already. So we were looking at the strongest RSI in history, okay, or tied for the strongest RSI in history. Let's go back and look at that now because the RSI, the way this crap changes in real time over here, hit apply, hit OK. There you go. That's is gonna leave a mark. That was 97. Okay, has already come off to 75. How long did that take? About 5 minutes. Okay, it's very oversold. Holy crap, this is gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly in here. Okay, I don't know though if this is enough to substantiate a move. One thing I want you to look at. Here we go. Look at this. We are buying puts, okay? They're buying puts right now in super micro, which is going to cause this thing to continue to spiral. Look, call sellers, it's very evident, put buyers. I mean, who in the hell would actually, they're buying puts at the market in here. Just traders coming out going, I'll take it. But look how wide the markets are. How wide the markets are in here, right? $3 and $4 wide, $4 wide market, and they're buying them. Okay. I mean, this is what it used to be like. Again, I traded in Yahoo for a while and we made markets that were $3 wide. Granted, we had 100% implied volatility. This is 300% vol, $50 expected move. It's already moved $120 today. Okay. This is bad news right now for this stock. Put buying, okay, is going to cause selling in here. For those of you that have never seen put buying, when you buy a put, what's your delta? What's your delta? Okay. If you come in and you buy a put, doesn't matter what put you buy. Okay. You're a negative delta. The market maker has to do what? They have to sell you the put. So if they sell you the put, they're going to be positive delta. How do they offset positive delta? Okay. By selling stock. Okay. They don't, and you're like, oh, selling stock from their inventory, maybe, or shorting stock. Market makers can short as much stock as they want. Doesn't matter whether it's easy to borrow or hard to borrow, but there's definitely some chum in the water right now. in Supermicro. This could get a lot worse. The fact of the matter is, though, NVIDIA continues to hold up rather well. What I'm looking for in NVIDIA, are they going to come in here and start to rush in and buy puts here? Okay, hasn't happened. All the option activity in here is pretty mellow, nothing too crazy going on. So NVIDIA is going to survive this one. Okay, and it, man, you know, it's, what else you got going on? I'd probably be the most concerned about Apple more than anything, not just because of its market cap. Apple just announced AI and they're selling it. That's over. The AI trade, in my opinion, is over. And again, that's strictly from my point of view. Okay, the biggest monkey pretty much on the block says that they're getting into it. Microsoft just announced earlier this week that their version of AI attached to, like, what is it, Microsoft Word and so forth. Not a lot of people want to pay $30 for it. By the way, I'm one of them. I'm not paying $30 for that crap, but I use actually OpenAI every day. I use OpenAI. Okay, I should use it even more often than I do to reread every single email that I send. Okay, I send emails like I speak, which is, you know, very broken up like that. ChatGPT completes me. It makes my fragment sentences whole. my thoughts, it actually it knows me. Yeah, I found a friend that like makes me a whole person, and it's ChatGPT. Okay, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Anyway, we'll see how this one plays out. Let's go actually talk about some positions. One of the positions is going to get a lot better today in the XHB. I can't believe they're trying to bid this thing back up. Rates are getting absolutely annihilated in here, you know, to the upside. We have 14 days left. We're out of the money. Okay. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay. I cannot believe this thing is bid back up. We have 14 days left. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to actually change anything in here. Okay. What I would like to do, in no uncertain terms, I'd like to take another position in the in-out spread. Okay. Excuse me. Anyway, I would like to take an in-out spread, and I'm shopping around a little bit for one. You know, stuff like Walmart. Walmart's got earnings. There's nothing I can do, kind of flattened out, but I am shopping for a spread, possibly inside of Caterpillar. All right, looking at Caterpillar. It's actually outside the expected move, was up to the upside of the expected move last week, expected move. I think Caterpillar actually might be a go. And I've been shopping around for this crap for, it's a while now. Okay. It's a long while. The thing in Caterpillar, the monthly has $10 wide strikes. Very, very difficult to get into a trade with $10 wide strikes, right? So I can look at the put spread, and we're trading, you know, 226. This is the 230, 235. If I can get this for like 235, I would take it. Okay, so I'll work the order in here. And again, don't worry about the open interest. The open interest in volume is absolutely there inside of the Caterpillar. In terms of options traded in here, okay, there's 4,000 today. It's not a huge amount. It's enough though for us to get our volume off in here. All right. By the way, as I was saying earlier, the market kind of had to mellow out a little bit. But again, I'll reiterate, I'm trying to buy a put spread in Caterpillar. Okay, look, I'm not even going to look, and I know that people get frustrated. I'm not even going to look for a bullish trade. I just can't. How can you do a bullish trade when it's an in-out spread, when the skew is still sitting at, like, you know, 150? And I know the skew came down a lot. Pretty crazy how much the skew came down. But I'll tell you what, that skew, you know, let me come actually to a line chart. Damn it. Okay, there we go. I know the skew came down, but even a 150 is still ridiculously high. That's the only point I wanted to make with this. Like, look, okay, we're still in Never Never Land for skew. We hit Never Never and then some, but we're still in Never Never Land when it comes to skew. In fact, we even hit like 170, but this is a weekly chart. I just wanted to show you guys how far up skew is. It's like, forget it. Like, you just can't place some of the trades that you want to place in here. It was like, you know, super micro. People are like, oh, what do you do if you want to be bearish? You stay the hell away, I guess. Okay. Is it trying to bid up yet? Is it up another $30? There it is. Okay. Boy, I called the number on that too. It's up about 30 bucks. I've seen this movie before. You have to bounce, by the way, to be able to sell back into it. That always freaks people out, but you need people shorting. You need the bounce, okay, and then they sell back into it, and it has to do with the dynamics of hedging, okay. This is right here is where people will start to load up on puts, and they are, people, and they are. Oh, I filled on cat, okay. We got a cat fill. We got a cat fill because the market is rallying a little bit. So Caterpillar starting to rally. Okay, look, I'm not going to just jump out there and send it out. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to work the order. Work the order, people. I'm even going to see if I can get one in the neighborhood of like, oh, even 230, 225. I would like 225. Okay, I'm just probing a little bit, letting the market come to me. So some of you are actually, I can see you in here. Okay, I can see some people actually getting into a similar trade. That's okay. I'm doing it 35 days out, and we'll see how it plays out. You know, Caterpillar has been incredibly strong lately, just incredibly strong. And you're in an environment where China is, off the board right now. Rates should slow down markets. Doesn't seem to matter in here. Okay. Auto expected moves, like look how many weeks in a row this thing cracked through its expected move year to date. It's up about 12%. Okay. This thing is incredibly, incredibly strong. Maybe that's because, well, a couple reasons in here, but all the politicians, okay, have been buying this stock. Can't make that crap up either. It's yeah, interesting stuff. So Nvidia, okay, as I was saying about stocks that have to rally before going for another bout, this is pretty critical right now. See if it continues to sell back off, because if it does, Nvidia right now, that's your market. As soon as Nvidia bounced, I want to show you, as soon as Nvidia bounced, the whole marketplace, okay, stopped with it. I mean, you lay these charts on one another, you wouldn't see any difference. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Speaking of crazy, Netflix has had an absolute blockbuster week, no pun intended, pulling back dramatically right now by the tune of 2.5%. I mean, it's still up dramatically on the week, but the move is rather outsized in here. Speaking of outsized move, Tesla, which had a decent bid under it throughout the course of the week, it too is selling off. Like people, there's just no bright spot right now in technology. Meanwhile, as I was saying, we picked up on this very early on. There's this kind of rotation going on from tech. You're buying right now financials, okay, and you're definitely buying energy. What I see in the tape, and I'm going to throw it out here for the remainder of the day. There's not much you can handicap in like a very chaotic tape, but here's what I would suggest to you. Okay. The S&Ps right now are down some 18, right? Their low is just off the number I called for, which is 50.11. I mean, we missed it by a freaking point. Nevertheless, missed it by 75 cents. Anyway, we missed it mildly. What I suggest to you, if there's any further sell side in NVIDIA, which is likely, the S&Ps are going to start to peel back off, meaning the S&Ps are going to start to come back down. Obviously, the Nasdaq's going to come down. But the real risk that you'll face as the day progresses is all of a sudden, you have the market down 20, with the Nasdaq down, well, to the tune of 0.8%. It's not that bad, like skinning your knee at this point. But if NVIDIA starts to come back off, I think it's actually going to roll the financials and energy over, on the day, and then this thing can really open up to the downside. You have, a decent probability today, to see some much more substantiated sell side activity. Doesn't mean it's going to actually play out that way, but there is a imminent risk of some bigger sell side. Bigger sell side would imply, these S&Ps 50, 60 handles easily. I don't know if we're getting back to, let's not get too crazy here. The lower edge of that expected move is 49.61. That looks a bit far away, but it's not out of the question. If you see this come back off, I mean, everything has to roll over. The advanced decline line is actually getting better. So you're looking at the advanced decline line. You're thinking, this is wonderful. This marketplace is going to rally. Okay. The advanced decline line is getting better because of the capital rotation. That's why I said I was talking about correlation earlier. Capital rotation is actually shifting it. Okay. Meanwhile, nothing's going to matter if this stock comes back off, and it looks like it's going to come back off right now. Okay. You're still trading. It's an NVIDIA world. You're just trading in it. All right. Positions. Okay. So what do I have? So I am filling some Caterpillar stuff right now. I'm short some Caterpillar too. I'm filling some Caterpillar stuff. I'm actually going to move my Caterpillar spread to spread tracker. Okay. So where is, oh, there it is, my XHB position. So my XHB position, okay, it's down. It's definitely not out. All I need is just one good day of sell side activity. Okay. And I'm back in terms of premium selling. Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting tight right now. Look, things, where are they? They're better than they were last week. Why? Okay, well, the S&Ps are technically down on the week. You know, any week that we're not rallying is that's the week for me. I'll take it. I mean, we're down like nominally. If the week closed over here, you're almost massively unchanged. You're literally what, 10, 15 points off to where the week started. But I will take what the defense gives me. Next week, markets are actually closed on Monday. But if you look out 7 days next week, there's actually a pretty big expected move. It's even bigger than this week. So every week we're creeping up their expected move. And this week we hit every ounce of expected move and then some. Bounce back off of it. But again, you know, the day is young. The day is young. I know everybody's looking at this like that's it. It's coming back. Okay, that was the great sell-off. Just be careful with that thought. Let's go back over here. Okay. Oh, the chicken is not done here, which probably implies the chicken's not done anywhere else either. Furthermore, I wanted to bring up Meta again. Okay. Interesting day inside of Meta. I'm looking at the auto expected moves. Apologize for pulling the other one up there. Interesting day in Meta. Meta has been up. It feels like it's been impenetrable throughout the course of this week. It's almost unchanged now on the week. What a difference one trading session is making here. Okay. There's some real damage being inflicted here. I have to say, from my point of view, okay, I'm kind of surprised, all right, that the S&Ps are taking this so well. And the S&Ps are taking it well because we're rotating. All right. The rotation game is very much in play. I'm sure Jeff Bierman can actually put a little bit more light on that. But look at this. The financials are outside the upper edge of the expected move. The energy sector is exactly where it is. No one cares right now. See, here's the dangerous part. No one cares that you're buying financials. No one cares that you're buying energy. All they care about is that the tech trade now looks dangerous. Not done, but it looks dangerous. So as this day progresses, if the sell side gets worse, the advanced decline line really comes off. There's a lot of crap you can sell in a day like this. All right. The cracks in the marketplace finally coming through. And I've been talking about this literally all week, where you're seeing like shots of volatility hit the market, shots of volatility hit the market. Okay. At some point, you just completely go for it. And that could actually transpire today. We'll see. This, so, you know, which day is the day that NVIDIA comes off, you know, 80, 90 bucks? As I told you guys earlier this week, every day that passes gets a little bit closer to it, but you're not going to be able to handicap exactly what day the, you know, the NVIDIA trade starts to really unwind. Obviously, doesn't help that Super Micro is off, but this is a nothing move as of right now. I mean, again, we're dealing with a stock that's up $7 and talking about it tanking. Okay, it's tanking because it's only up 7. It's pretty crazy. Speaking of crazy, I'm still trying to fill here in CAT. I'll send out this trade if I can get some more fills, but I'm not sending out anything if I can't get the execution that I want. I'll continue to work this at 225, but if I can fill at 230, I would also take it. And I'm not posting it or anything just yet. I know some of you are filling it. I'm not posting it yet because I want to make sure I can get the executions that I need in there. Anyway, yeah, you know, Joyce, NVIDIA, I wouldn't wait to the earnings. Okay, most of the stocks like this, and you can look back. There's actually, I've read a couple white papers about this, but stocks that are running up into the earnings, most of them actually do not hold together until the earnings. In effect, what I'm saying is, you know, you don't have to necessarily have earnings. The implied volatility is already kind of jacked up in there. So those earnings are coming out on the 21st, which is Wednesday. It may not make it. It just may not make it. And again, you're just on the clock here. It's not like it's going to have a big down day. No, it's definitive. It is going to have a big down day. It's just a matter of, does that big down day happen to get canceled out by earnings? Okay. Does the big down day then get, earnings come out and it's even worse? I mean, we're trading right now and it's kind of ridiculous, but here in the last minute, NVIDIA was down. Okay. Look, you see it right in the S&Ps. Okay. We're trading because there's nothing else to hold us together. Nothing. All right. Now you're getting into a little bit of an issue here inside of the financials. So we do look like we're priming maybe for another test into the 5011. We hit 5011. If we go under that, all bets are off. Then it can actually turn into a really horrendous down day. And we'll see. Again, I'm not making any position changes right now. Just trying to add to that Caterpillar position. Oh, yeah, you know what? If you're going to get into Caterpillar, step to the plate right now, because otherwise you're not going to get an opportunity. I can just see the way this is going here. I'll pay up to 230 for it. Okay, but we may not be able to get filled in here. So obviously I paid 235 for the first one, but I'll play around with it a little bit as soon as I get off air here. Okay, but I'm getting punchy because I see something coming here in the S&Ps. And I really did want to get everybody into a trade on CAT. If I don't get it filled today, I can fill it, of course, on Tuesday. So I'll be in and out throughout the course of next week. I don't really know my broadcast schedule next week, but I'll figure that out. So I'm going to be traveling a little bit next week. The week after that, after I travel with my in-laws for a week, then I got to go to the island by myself for a week. It's called recovery. Okay, it's recovery. I have to recover from hanging out with in-laws. No, it's not recovery from drinking or anything like that. It's recovering from in-laws. Okay. I start traveling with my wife and kids on Saturday. I don't get away from everybody else till the following Sunday. Okay. Oh man, I'm dead. So I changed up my flight a little bit. Decided to stop in the island of St. Croix, which is exactly the opposite way from going home, but to Arizona. But that's okay. Okay. Yeah, that iguana thing, man, I'm coming after them, those little bastards. So I went to pick up one of my kids. So one of my kids went to his buddy's house and he's playing over there throughout the course of the day, and they actually have a pet iguana, and it lives, in a cage inside outside. The pet iguana. As soon as I got there, though, of course, my son opens up his mouth. He's like, "My dad shoots iguanas." They're like animal loving people. They got chickens in the backyard. They got a giant iguana. They have multiple dogs and so forth. And I'm like, no, I like most animals. Okay. The iguana started it though. I just tried to explain it. Okay. And then my son, he's like, "Oh, show him the pictures of the time you actually blew the iguana's head off." And they're like, "How's that possible with a BB gun?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't actually, I shot it with the BB gun and it didn't die. So then I had to go after it, with a pool net." Okay. Pool pole smacking it. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. It's only a BB gun. It's like a high powered though BB gun. It's a pellet gun. Thing is awesome. Okay. Absolutely awesome. I've got some great photos too. Great photos of some shots in there. No iguanas were hurt in the making of TheoTRADE. Actually, that's completely a lie. I do hurt iguanas. They started it. You should see what they did in my pool. Can't swim in the pool for like 3 to 4 days after those little bastards are in there. So the iguanas, for those of you that are brand new on the island, okay, first of all, they're not indigenous. They were brought there, right? So you're supposed to kill them. So I'm doing everybody a favor. I am saving United States tax dollars by getting in my backyard with a scope and feeling like a sniper and shooting at iguanas. So by the way, it's great pastime. If you have like 3 hours, you don't know what to do. Okay. You sit perched in the backyard, can have a couple of drinks during the thing. My wife is like, "You're an idiot." She comes out all the time. She's like, "Is he still outside?" Okay. Sitting in my little sniper nest out there, waiting for iguanas to show up. Anyway, they go in your pool and then they defecate in the pool, which is filled with really, really bad bacteria. It doesn't smell very good either. And yeah, good stuff. I like that. Okay, balancing out the ecosystem. I like that. You have to kill them. Okay, it's a must. So anyway, I go over and pick up the son, and I don't think those other parents like. I don't think they like me very much. I'm an iguana killer to them. Anyway, I was looking at their iguana. It's still. I don't care if it's a pet or not. That thing needs to go. I really have like this thing deep inside me that wants to go after that iguana. All right, better now, much better. Okay, there is no medication for whatever I got. So the SPOOs remain down 20 and no real changes in here. One of the things that is starting to transpire, as I said, you might see some selling in the financials. You might see some selling right here. And if those two come off, okay, and NVIDIA starts to rock to the downside again, it just cracks the door wide open for that kind of quintessential big down day. Okay, there's a, okay. By the way, you're going to love this. Somebody said no natural predator for the iguana. So they brought to this island, okay, they brought, damn, I can't remember what they're called, little furry things. Anyway, they brought these little furry things, okay, but the little furry things are nocturnal. The iguanas are not nocturnal. Iguanas are exothermic. They need the heat. That's actually why they go out to the pool and like to get into the sun, get into the water, exothermic, okay, where the other animal is endothermic and nocturnal. So I'm totally drawing a blank on the other little animal over there, but they're vicious little bastards too. It looks just like a ferret, yes, but it's not a ferret. Anyway, nobody's paying attention to me. It's okay. Yeah, it looks just like the ferret. I can't remember the hell. Oh, it's a mongoose. They're mongoose. I apologize. It's a mongoose. So they brought mongoose to the island. I don't know. This is like 50, 100 years ago. I have no idea. But there's mongoose everywhere. Okay. And if you like leave a door open, which you do all the time in the island because it never gets above like, certain temperature, never gets below a certain temperature, you leave your door open, the mongoose will come into your kitchen, grab a loaf of bread and take back off. Okay. And there's nothing like, a lot of the houses are kind of indoor, outdoor there. There's nothing like being in your house and seeing like a little furry bastard run into the house. But me and the mongoose, we're good. We're good because me and the mongoose both are enemies, of course, of the iguana. Okay. Was it your enemy's enemy is your friend? There you go. I'm good with the mongoose. I'll feed him. All right. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Bierman. There's nothing I'm going to take a stab at right now. I'm going to sit tight. I am going to try to fill some of the Caterpillar trade. I should be filling in the Caterpillar trade. I am not right now. Okay. At least I'm making a few bucks back today. I mean, it's been a rough ride the last like 3 weeks. Very rough ride, especially in some of the short positions. But Meta is helping me substantially today. By the way, Meta, okay, all hands on deck in Meta. They are slaughtering that thing. Again, I suggest to you, you be very careful today. And the suggestion comes in light of the fact that big tech is not just down. Few of them are really getting pummeled. Like Meta's down 3%. The gains of Meta for the week, okay, they're gone. I know exactly where Meta started the week, and the gain for Meta of the week, which were huge yesterday, they're gone. Okay, that kind of carefulness says, hey, look, okay, all you have to do is have NVIDIA start to slip a little bit. Tech actually goes into a tailspin, and NVIDIA starts to slip. But you can have that Nasdaq down 300-400 points. Okay, things kind of mellowed out right now, but we'll see how this kind of plays. We haven't seen the marketplace categorically, if you will, go for it to the downside in any recent trade. Got a pretty good opportunity today, but I'm sure Jeff Bierman will tell you they'll never let it go until they do, Jeff, until they do. With that, Jeff Bierman is coming on. He's talking about Mountain of Evidence, introducing the Twin Peaks strategy. Stay tuned. Jeff Bierman's coming on right now. I'm actually going to record update videos, in-out spread, TheoTRADE portfolios, any details that you guys need on those 12-minute videos, they'll be out here in about the next hour. Stay tuned. Jeff Bierman's coming on right now.